Morning, guys. Starting a little bit early today. We got Chicago PMI, which is orange folder at 9:45. So I just wanted to go ahead and get started um, early here today. And I just have one more thing to do. I need to get the first presented fair value gap noted here. Okay. So we're just going to drag this out till 4 o'clock for the close. Then we'll get cooking. All right, so we got about 2.5 minutes left before the data release. Just gonna move up to the 1 week here. Let me do this. Okay, so moving up to the 1 week, see that we've had a pretty strong bearish delivery all week. Uh, Same with the daily, pretty strong. Down to the 4 hour. This is the cleanest delivery that we've had in let's see. Honestly, this is probably the cleanest delivery we've had since July. Um, so this is a really nice looking delivery. Um, Back up to the 1 week, very strong one-sided delivery. So we can look for TGIF, which is a 20 to 30% retracement, 70% of the time. That usually occurs either Friday or Monday. Um, so I'm just going to move back over to what we have here so that we can look at those retracement levels. So, let's see, I got to adjust this just a little bit. 460.25. Where it is, 460.25. 460.25. So that would put us at, let's get rid of this, 730.75 or 866. We'll drop back down to the 1 minute now that we have that. Um, so far we did get this very strong bearish delivery at the open. Um, we took out all this sell side over here in doing so. So all this sell side was taken out in that strong move, which was very quick. Usually when that happens, the real move is going to be in the opposite direction, but we're taking out sell side or buy side, whichever direction, so that we can then deliver to the other side. So now we're just going to move up here and get ready for the 9:45 data. I need to just adjust this here. And also to note, we've got some SMT divergence here. So the Dow is a little bit more in the positive. ES is kind of borderline, but in the positive right now. And the NQ is the lagger. So if we do see some buy side delivery, meaning if we go higher, the NQ will likely spring pretty high pretty quickly just because it has to catch up to the other two. Um, and that is if we do, can continue this bullish delivery that we're seeing right here. Have had a pretty strong week to the downside. So it is possible to just kind of be range bound most of the day, but this strong move at the open here kind of makes me think that that was to take out the sell side that I previously noted so that we can continue higher. So just gonna wait here and see if we can actually get something that's within my parameters for taking a trade. So 50. So possible bearish order block right here. If we're going to be bullish and continue higher, I want to see the midpoint of this disrespected. For me to actually take an entry, I want to see price be a little cleaner. So I want to see price kind of trade the way that it did here, with these bodies, but not very many wicks, or even the way that it is over here. I don't want to take a trade when we have these clear wicks right here. So this is one of the few times where we can actually put a side by side here and see clean price delivery, right next to pretty inefficient price delivery. So I do want to wait to see if we can get something a little cleaner like this. But for the buy side, again, I'd want to see us pierce this. And I'd really, for me personally, I'd like to see this price range get balanced. So I'd like to come up here, to 2644.75, create a like a discount PD array. So come a little bit lower and then show us something that indicates that we're going to move higher. If we're going to continue lower, I do want to see this midpoint here get respected, and then start to deliver lower. Okay, so we pierced that. So that's definitely a good sign for continued bullish delivery. And now look, NQ is positive, but it's going positive more quickly than the ES. So as I mentioned before, it's the laggard. So if it does start to move higher, it's going to do so very quickly and very strong. So this is the one that we'd want to be trading because it has to catch up. So it's going to work hard to get in sync with the other two indices. So possible order block forming here. And I'm going to get rid of this because we don't need this. Possible order block. I'm not taking this, just because it's too wide of a range for me. Um, yeah, ideally, if this was going to be an order block, we'd want to see this current candle close up. Um, Not getting that right here. Yeah, this is kind of it's not the cleanest price delivery, but we're still gonna watch. See what the open is here. 625. So I'm not loving this delivery at the moment. Um, this currently does look like a bearish order block. So if we are going to move lower, we want to respect the midpoint here. But judging on these wicks here and the way that price is moving almost robotically right now, I'm not in a rush to believe that this is going to hold. Um, and just looking at this price delivery that we're getting right now, if I do want to take a trade, I might actually have to just lower my number of contracts, and have a little bit wider of a stop because it's just not very trustworthy price delivery. And I would bet we'd blow right through this. So not gonna need that any longer. So I would like to see this balance. I'd love to see this price range get balanced here, but at least have this one get balanced to, kind of trust that we're going to move higher. and now NQ is behind again. So these other two indices are kind of pulling off, and NQ is down here just kind of hanging around. Want to see if this is a down close candle here. This one's a current down close candle, so I do think it's possible that we're gearing up right now to move higher. I'll watch the bottom of this one. Don't love it though. It's pretty nasty. Yeah. This is gnarly. I'll watch the midpoint of this. Let's take a look at the one. Yeah, the one is pretty nasty as well. Just a lot of up and down here. And the YM here is running now. Um, but this is still kind of in the negative. This hasn't really moved too much. Um, so we might have to kick back. I don't want to stay past 11 today. So I might close stream before price gets out of what it's doing right now. But we'll see if it actually opens up at all. YM is still running. So what's interesting about this is just watch these two percentages. The NQ just moved about point, we'll say 20% or 20.2%. Um, so like almost a quarter of a percent, while the Dow hasn't really budged. So it's just not super clean or trustworthy delivery here. So I'm not really eager to take anything right now. We're hanging out on the previous day's low, which in a bearish environment usually could send us lower, like we'd normally trade into it. before going lower. But I'm not loving the divergence right here in this the way that the price is actually moving at the moment. So just gonna put that on there. See if we close below there. Did close below there, so we should move lower. I don't love this delivery right now, so I'm just gonna wait to see if we do pierce this. Yep, we did, so I'm gonna pull that off. So super sketchy price action so far. It was really weird that this shot down a quarter of a percent while this remained where it is. So couldn't really trust that downside move. Um, maybe we'll get something here that tells us that we are going to head lower, but as of now, I'm not really trusting that. And I think right here we'll see a pretty large candle, just based on the way that this presented. So it opened down really hard and then shot up. So we should probably see some pretty large displacement here. I'm personally gonna wait until we pierce this. Um, and I guess at least balance this one here. So that's another 50 handles, but it is what it is considering the TGIF level is still about 100 handles past this. So just gonna hang on here. So I think this should be an order block here. We could get a down close candle here, but I don't really see it going much lower after this candle here. If we do go lower after this candle, that's gonna mean we're going sideways. So I am thinking that we will just start to continue higher right here. So I'm gonna wait for like my setup here. But I don't see us going much lower right now. Again, the only way I really see us going lower is if we just go sideways. And I don't think that's gonna be the case here. So just waiting for this to get balanced. I mean, at this point, I don't really think I need to wait for it to get balanced, but it might give me the little bit of slowdown that I need in order to take the entry that I'd personally like to take. Hmm. So I think this candle here just starts to go up. If this one just shoots down Again, we're going sideways, but I think it's just going to start to move upwards. I'm going to get a strong displacement candle here. Either this one or the very next one, I want to see a pretty strong move up. So still not the most efficient price delivery, but it's a little more legible than it was. Okay, so we balance this now. And you can see all three of these are kind of in sync now. So that strong move that we saw from like here to here, I believe was a fake out. Now the tough thing is I would love to get an entry, but with the way that price is moving, it's going to be pretty hard to get an entry with the amount of contracts that I want to take. So I might have to downsize here if I want to take anything. And that's just due to this price delivery. So let's see. 611. We shouldn't want to go below the 611 level if we're going to continue higher. If we do, it's probably going to be sideways or just very inefficient delivery. Yeah, pretty inefficient. Hmm. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be nasty. So far sideways, but not it's not a small sideways. This is pretty large range, if you will, for sideways price action. Take a look at this on the one. Actually, I'll just jump up to the one on here as well. On the one, that's pretty nasty. Very, very back and forth. Um, so like as I mentioned at the start of stream, this delivery here is pretty clean, like one direction. This here is pretty clean in one direction, and then after that it just kind of goes to crap. A lot of back and forth. Now, YM still cooking. Up 0.5% now, and this is down 0.1%. Um, Very nasty. Again, if this one and this one continue to outpace this one, it should make this one shoot up pretty quickly, but just very inefficient price delivery here, so we may not actually see that here. At least not while I'm live streaming. I think we will end up seeing a big move at some point in the day. But it's 10 o'clock already, so we only have about another hour. Watch this here to see if it becomes an order block. So that might be our order block there. It's pretty nasty price action. I'm not like I would love to take that entry just based off of this order block here. But this this move right here is, let's see, 20 handles. Like I can't see what the risk on that would be. I can't take that in good faith. Yeah. 250. Actually, let's update this. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, 260 worth of risk just to take that entry there. So let's jump down to one contract to see what that would even look like. Yeah, I think this could be the order block that sends us higher. This is just nasty price action though. So let's see if we trade into that. Very close to trading into this, but did not. Want to see how this current candle reacts. If this one just turns around and shoots higher, this might be the order block that was used to push us up. It's just a nasty day so far. Let's see, we'll take it. Probably gonna get stopped out here, but we'll take it. Put the stop right down there. We're only gonna take one though, because I don't like this PA. So we should see some displacement higher pretty quickly. If we don't, we're probably just going to continue sideways the way that we have been. But I don't believe that's the case. And if we do get stopped out here, we should see a pretty large row candle, but I do expect price to start to displace higher right here. All right, so let's watch this candle. Should go straight up. Nasty. Not at all moving the way that I'm expecting it to. So I'll move this in here. Just to cover commissions, I do think it's possible we get stopped out here, but normally we aren't gonna move 25 handles like we did just now. Let's see. 30. Yeah, we're normally not gonna move 35 handles and then come back and stop us out. So I'm fine getting stopped out right here. Um, but this order block right here should have sent us higher pretty quickly. Just because we came down right now doesn't really mean that we're gonna go lower. This price delivery is just very nasty. I still do think that this is the one that should send us higher, this order block. Until we come down and just go below it. But again, this is just really nasty price delivery. So let's watch this current candle. I think this current candle should actually send us higher. I'll take a re-entry. I just want to see what the risk on there is. Uh, let's 0. It's $81 worth of risk. I'm not taking that. $80 worth of risk on one contract. I'm not. Absolutely not taking that. So I would trust this order block now. Still not the cleanest delivery here, but I would trust this order block here to send us higher. So I think we have about 90 more handles that I would expect to go higher. Of course, we're not in the trade. We got stopped out here. Just wicked nasty price action. Um, I'd rather get stopped out for a zero gain than to leave risk on after moving 30 handles and retracing 30 handles. Um, but yeah, we should start to really cook here. Impossible propulsion block here. I think it's pretty trustworthy, honestly, but just with the delivery that we've seen so far, I don't really like the idea of taking it. Sheesh, I can't even grab it. That's how nasty this is. Absolutely nasty price action. So I'm gonna be sidelined again. Just no interest in that. Possible immediate rebalance here. So we had this large green candle here, and we came right back down here um, to kind of clean this up. And we can look at it over here on the 1 minute. That may be an immediate rebalance. So because we left so quickly, we might be coming back just to clean that up. Um, Kind of hard to read right now with how crappy price action has been because although we have this, which is possibly an immediate rebalance, we have a possible bearish order block right here. So it's not an easy read with this delivery. So trust that this is gonna go higher. I want to see price pierce the midpoint here. For me to want to take an entry, again, I want to see us balance this, come lower, create some sort of PD array to take us higher. Mm, this is bad. This is just so nasty. Open 658. This is absolutely disgusting. So if we are going to see lower, price will respect the midpoint of this here. This is really nasty price action though. It could go lower though. There's plenty down there to take out. So if we're gonna go lower, we should see a pretty large candle down in this current candle. This one or the very next one. Otherwise, we might just continue in this weird sideways delivery that we're seeing, which seems biased to the high to the buy side, but it's like a sideways up delivery. It's not really straight up. It's just nasty. So watching the midpoint here, see if we can even get there. Guess we had a really large bearish delivery, and this is the last day of the month, but I don't really see why we'd be trading like this. Possible propulsion block here with this down close candle into this one here. I'll watch this order block. I want to see if this body respects the midpoint. So if it closes above the midpoint of this here. If it does, we should be able to trust the low of this to hold. Let me see. Yeah, it's a little fast. I'll take one. So we should expect the low of this to hold if it's going to be a little bit more efficient price delivery. It's nasty though. Let's see what the high is. The high is the top of this order block, so it's like somewhat algorithmic price delivery, but it's just not very clean. I'm just gonna move that up because it does seem like we're going to continue higher here. So I want to lock in the commissions costs. Um, but this is nasty price delivery. Like, yeah, we're heading up right now, but it looks so robotic. It's just not clean. Like normally we should see this trade into maybe the midpoint here and then shoot up. It's just hanging around. Like this should want to run away right now. And we have a volume imbalance, and I would almost bet money with how terrible this delivery is. Price is going to go up and leave this open. I'd like to see it closed. I like this right here. Okay, so it made me a liar, surprisingly. Maybe it's a little more efficient than I was expecting. So, boom, look at the high, 731. Let's go. Let's just want to take a look at that and see what the number is on there. 730.75. So that's algorithmic for certain. I'm just gonna move this up a little bit more. Honestly, I don't love this price delivery right now, so I want to close it, but I'll leave it on. So that's our TGIF retracement there. The 20% retracement on the week. I would like to see this current candle just push very hard higher, this one and the very next one. And at that point, I would be taking this position off. Um, I don't really have a desire to sit here longer or hold this much longer. And I don't like this price delivery. We are going to get a big candle here. Ideally, it would come down and then shoot up, but not looking like that's what we're getting at the moment. So I'm just going to bring this right here because I do expect this one to push higher and the very next one to push a little bit higher after that. But um, just going to close out shortly after we get the push here. Okay, so this last candle, once this pushes up, I'm going to close this out. Okay, so that's that. It may continue higher. I again don't really care to be in it with the way that it's been trading. But I'll sit here. I'll hang out till 11, 10:45 at least. So what's that? Another 20 handles there. This is still some pretty nasty price action here. Ideally, I would have taken an entry with more contracts on. But with this price delivery, I just didn't really trust it. So it is what it is. We'll take a dub. So we're still delivering higher. Want to watch this order block here. This might send us lower. I uh I missed that, but it is what it is. Had to take the dog out of the room, so I didn't get an entry there, but you know, it's gonna happen. So quick 50 handles there. It's possible that we're retracing not really for anything, but we could also just be continuing the bearish delivery lower that we've seen all week. Oh, could also be a breaker. Um, so quick lesson for I guess the people that aren't like super familiar with breakers: high, low, higher, high, and then we could trade into the initial high, which could send us higher. If we aren't just trading here for a breaker, I would think that we're heading down to take out this low here at least. We have this one, but it's relatively equal to this one here. So if we were to be continuing lower, I would expect us to be taking this out. If we didn't do that, again, I would be thinking it's a breaker here, taking us higher. And in order to trust that, I'd want to see the midpoint of this pierced. Um, and if that doesn't happen, we'll probably just ping pong between those two areas here. I'm gonna watch to see if we respect this midpoint or go through it. So we no longer need that, at least on here. Interesting. We may be using this as an order block. So I'm gonna take that because it's super close. Um, it's very small, so we might get stopped. Yeah, we got stopped out there. So it just looks like we're in a bit of inefficiency here. Um, not, it's kind of tough. I would want to see us either pierce the midpoint of this here. or take out these lows. I think otherwise we might see some sideways delivery here. Let's bring that back just to see if we actually get a true order block. Yeah, so I'm just seeing some inefficient price delivery here. I would like to see it close below here and then to not return back into here. But this has been some pretty nasty delivery here. Let's just see. So I would be seeking this here, but this is just really nasty price delivery. I'm gonna leave this on, so we may get stopped out. Um, yeah, it's just nasty. It's not very clean at all. Don't love it. Seeing a big lack of direction, I'd ideally like to see us close below here to trust that it is going to continue lower, but it's just it's not very efficient right now. Once we closed below here, we should have wanted to run lower if we were going to trust that it was going to go lower. So I'll leave it on. I'll let it either stop us out or actually create a cleaner price delivery here. And if it is going to be cleaner, we should see this current candle want to rush down, but just not very clean right now, so. Yep. So just not clean. We probably are gonna ping pong in this area, so just gonna I would say watch for the midpoint of this to be taken. Um, or for us to trade down below this here. But it is just about 10:45, so I'm gonna head out. Hope you guys learned something. Hope it was entertaining enough. Good luck, good trading. Be safe.